For years, managers, leaders, and people thought that for being successful, individuals should focus on their weaknesses and try to fix them. In fact, they looked for what was wrong with people to fix it and help them thrive. For instance, if you are shy and introverted, it is your weakness and you need to try to be sociable and extroverted. Or, if you are weak in mathematics, you have to focus on math to catch up with others. Almost 30 years ago, Dr. Clifton raised a challenge to the world. He said, instead of focusing on weaknesses, we have to focus on strengths and just manage our weaknesses. At that moment, it was very counterintuitive to many people and leaders. And of course, many people still hold that belief. But Dr. Clifton believed people can change their life by focusing on their strengths, and managers and leaders can change organizations and workplace cultures by focusing on people's strengths. The major problem is, most of the time we have no idea about our strengths and talents, and we don't know how to spot our talents or our children's talents. When we are not aware of our strengths and talents, we would just follow the crowd blindly and try to do whatever others expect us to do. This others might be our teachers, our parents, our friends, our employer, our boss, and so on. The problem is, others have no idea about your strengths and talents either, and as a result, they would guide you to the direction that they want and try to build someone from you that they desire, not you. In most cases, it takes us years to figure out what we truly desire and what our strengths and our talents are. It has happened to many of us, as well as many famous and successful people. You would be surprised if you know that many of successful and influential people around the world changed their careers several times until they found out what their strengths and talents are. People like J.K. Rowling, creator of Harry Potter, and Colonel Sanders, creator of KFC brand, are examples of that. Thomas Chamorro Premuzic, professor of business psychology at University College London and at Columbia University, in one of his articles in Harvard Business Review, writes, "Talent matters even more than people think." According to him, many research in different fields from business to sport have shown only around 20% of individuals are responsible for 80% of the output and success. In all these areas, 20% of individuals, or even less, tend to account for between 80 and 98% of performance and success. And this 20% are the people who have recognized their strengths and talents and utilized that to thrive and reach their goals and bring success to all. Note that talent concerns the strengths and abilities that determine what a person can do. But for being successful, you need to deploy your strengths and talents by effort and learning. Now, you might ask, is everyone talented at all? Does everyone have a talent or strengths? After years of research, Dr. Clifton could identify 34 essential and underpinning strengths that form the foundation of talent at every individual. He could find a reliable method to assess these essential strengths at different people, which can help them discover their talents and aptitudes. Today, this method is called Clifton Strength Finder Assessment. So far, this assessment has been performed on over 25 million people across the world, and many have taken advantage of the results of that in discovering their talents and changing their lives. Recently, Gallup organization analyzed the aggregated data of those 25 million completed assessments and found out every individual has at least one of the 34 essential strengths, and an average, almost 9 out of 25 million people have the common set of strengths. It means you are a unique person with a unique set of strengths and talents. So, you don't need to follow others and then try to be like them. Because you are unique, with unique set of strengths, capabilities, and skills. And all you need to do is discovering your talents and strengths, honing your skills, and following your ambitions and dreams. Gallup researchers also found out when the people in a team are aware of their strengths, as well as others' strengths, the performance of the team increases remarkably. Whether it is a business team, sport team, or any other type of team cooperation. When Clifton was still a graduate student, he asked himself a question: what would happen if we studied what was right with people versus what's wrong with people? That question transformed his life and millions of other people's, and directed organizational psychology toward a new and more constructive view of people. The transformation is not complete yet. We all, and leaders in particular, still tend to think of weaknesses as areas of opportunity rather than what they are. We still don't focus enough on our strengths. We pay even less attention to the strengths of others and instead, mostly try to detect others' weaknesses and highlight them. Many of us still try to change people to turn them into the ones we wish. For example, we tend to change our kids, our spouse, our friends, or our employees, regardless of their strengths and their talents. But ask yourself, what would happen if you emphasize on strengths of others instead of their seeming weaknesses? Remember, focusing on your strengths as well as others' strengths would give you a synergy which you have never imagined.